which is like 40% of her monthly income. I asked her like, why don't you send to some good government schools? She said that she laughed at me. There is no good and government. It does not go together. And the second thing that she told me was like she understands the power of English as a communication tool, and she wants her both the kids to be like English medium, good education. So, and she wants to sacrifice. She may live in one room house instead of 2 room house. She is okay with not spending much on groceries, but education is something like she doesn't want to compromise on. So understanding these consumption patterns, understanding this, the way people are spending want to spend their money. So we have created this. This is a straight failure of the public delivery system, because we spend, last night I just quickly Googled and found out that the last year education budget was 40,000 crores, which is 6% of GDP, which is like everyone sitting here has contributed through their taxes, but the lady who is supposed to be benefited, she is spending like 2,000 rupees out of her. So there is a direct failure. We are spending like twice. We are spending one through our taxes, and second we are again spending as part of our incomes. So these are some of the consequences of what I've seen, and I quickly like a couple of I don't say solutions, like some of the things that I've see like so what can we actually do? I can't tell if I know that I should be sitting in Dr. Manmohan Singh's chair. One yeah, and one thing Dr. talked about is the UID project, which I am very more about. Is if it is executed well, it will be a gigantic leap, because everyone knows who we are, and second, once we know that who is the individual, then we could target those whatever the subsidies, whatever. So and second thing, I think, which many economists also talk, is the voucher system. So instead of spending 40,000 crores at New Delhi, and then because we have a delivery system which is like a bucket full of holes. So 40,000 crores starts in Delhi and supplies 4 crores in district of Bangalore. So we need to find out a methodology where we have direct transfers to these people. Okay, I will give you 2,000 rupees, and it's up to you how you spend that. You spend on education, you spend on health. So I will give you a voucher kind of thing. It's up to you to choose between a government school or English medium school, private school, whichever you think is good. So I'm providing you a choice. So those kind of innovative, we have to use technology, we have to use create business models around it, because telecom is a good example, because telecom has actually generated income for the government instead of taking money to create the kind of growth that we are seeing. Similarly, even I was told that the UID project is also will be providing revenue for the government rather than taking money, and it's self-sustaining. It's actually will generate revenue. So we need to come up with innovation. So all this is possible if you have like good people at the top, which I think all the other panelists have talked about. With that, I just want to just close my thing and say that we have done a lot, considering the scenarios, constraints that we had, because the diversity, the kind of political system that we have, the kind of quality of leadership that we have. But I think we can still do a lot. I'm very positive about how India will shape in next 10 to 15 years. If we could make this bucket closed and have a targeted delivery. Thank you.
Thank you, Siva. With I think some wonderful insights out there. With that, we shall open the floor for any questions and solutions from all our other friends in the audience.
Respect to the AICT, Dr. Rao and Mr. Pramod. There is a feeling about the education community. I've worked very deeply in education, and I've also been associated with the AICT, which is kind of right on the fume there, to the top level. But there were some good periods as well when Dr. Natarajan. I mean to say up to the level of I've not had access to the senior people, except but I had access still the director level people.
Other individuals who are coming out of institutions which are brand equity, what they're paying for that is a different matter. I'm more worried about the quality and the brand equity. I mean, money apart, I mean that. So that's why I just want to set that thing that there are institutions. Of course, there are proposals with the, government now. The government is toying with the. I should no longer speak for the government, but they're toying with the idea of a higher education council. Perhaps revamping the whole ACT and the UGC into one system. I think that's the only way to go because you can't get rid of the systems like this. I'm sure you must have seen a couple of months back the whole on the public health or the health sector. They were also talking of course, there's the Medical Council of India. I'm sure you know about it. So there are also proposals to have a substitute that with a much higher body called the national body to have a better system. But let's hope that the government will be able to pilot because there are so many other interested parties happening. So I think I agree. The only way to do is you create new structures which will to make the existing ones
given by the UPA 1 and 2. They extort money. The money goes right up to the top end. And that's how the problem gets perpetuated. The same thing is happening in the electricity sector. You and I not only pay higher tariff, but our meters run fast because the government says it should happen. It's a combination of a talmeil between the ruling party and the opposition party. So we have a larger problem to tackle. That's my take on it all. But that doesn't mean that we get cowed down by the problem. We will find solutions to the problem.
May I just say something? No, fraud. It's a fraud. Lodge an FIR. False representation. Why don't you do that? You don't have to depend on somebody else. That's what I did.
I also told you now, and this will come as a surprise to you. A friend of mine, he became a friend later, I first got to know about him on the net. He exposed the system on a blog. IBM filed a case against him. He was going to be forced to resign from IBM. He told the IBM guys, I don't give a damn about your company and the money that you pay me. My principles are more important. I resign. Okay? They filed a FIR against him. They almost